What's up, weirdos? I'm Felicia and I like scary movies, and today we're talking about a crazy freaking film that is going to achieve cult status probably immediately, and that is Psycho Goreman. This is a movie that a few people had texted me or messaged me about. I didn't know too much about it. I watched the trailer and then immediately turned on the movie. Immediately. I've never been so sold from a trailer in my life. Psycho Goreman was written and directed by Steven Kostanski, who has done a lot of work in special effects, prosthetics, monster making, if you will, and this movie puts those skills to use in a big way. For a little plot, after unearthing a gem that controls an evil monster looking to destroy the universe, a young girl and her brother use it to make him do their bidding. This movie is so bizarre and absurd that I am like shocked it got made, but I am so happy it got made. It feels like a 90s kids adventure movie. It has so many monsters that are practically done and so creative and over the top and ridiculous. It has a very strange humor to it, and it's just like, it's just a party. It's like a party it's a monster party in a movie. Let's first of all just talk about what I loved about this film. I've already mentioned the monsters. These creatures are so cool and weird and feel like out of a kid's like sketchbook or something that then somebody actually made in real life. We have Psycho Goreman himself, who just looks freaking epic and amazing. We have this kid that he turned into a giant brain. We have this kind of like council of monsters from like different parts of the galaxy, each of them like totally unique and cool. We have a crew of like evil monsters that Psycho Goreman used to work with, I guess, such as this just bucket of bodies creature. Like all of them, like I hope I can find enough pictures, but also maybe I shouldn't because they should be a surprise, but there's a lot going on here. There's so many monsters. I also love this tube man. I love this guy. Just all of them. I love all of them. I did watch an interview with Steven Kostanski, and he said that he wanted to make monsters that 10-year-old Steven would think were like freaking awesome, and I would say he achieved that. Like I wish I had seen this movie as like a 13-year-old. Like I feel like, I should also say the second thing about this movie that I loved is the gore is so over the top. It's hilarious. Like the gore actually kind of reminds me of like some 80s like ridiculous movies, but the way in which Psycho Goreman kills people is totally over the top. The way he like rips people's heads apart, like it's just amazing. And so that's kind of the contrast we have going on. Like it feels like a kid's adventure movie that is just gory as can be. The next thing I loved was the kids, the brother-sister duo. We have Mimi, played by Nita Josie Hanna, and Luke, played by Owen Meyer, who, by the way, is going to be in the new Terrifier 2 film, so that's cool. But they are just such fun kids. Like, Mimi is just a nasty little girl. She's really has barely any redeemable qualities at all. She's just horrible, but I love that for some reason. And little Luke is like such a pushover, but I love them together because they really feel like genuine kids. Like they play this game, I can't remember what it's called right now. They play this game that's kind of like dodgeball, but they have all these freaking crazy weird rules, just like kids do. Like they make their own fun. It takes place like in suburbia. You know, it just has that vibe that makes it, I can't say it any more than 90s. And I think I am getting that, yes, because of the style, but also because it has that like kind of nostalgic quality about it for me when I'm watching it, where like I feel kind of like a kid while I watch this movie, even though it's so gory. But if you watch it, I think you'll know what I mean. I also really like the stupid humor. Like there is just some really dumb humor in here that I really appreciate, because I feel like we don't get enough of that anymore. Like things have to feel kind of like highbrow or smart. Not in this. Not in this. There's a lot of really dumb stuff that happens that I just love. Like, I just love how dumb it is. And I mean that as a compliment, by the way. The only things I didn't love is at a certain point in the film, it starts to feel long. And that's typically not a good sign. And I think this movie is about a little over an hour and a half, something like that. And there's a certain point where sort of the humor and the gags and I don't know, like it starts to feel like it goes on a little too long, like you're ready for them to like kind of wrap it up. And I think that's really just plot wise, because visually there is a lot going on. Like it is eye candy for my weirdos. Like I'm telling you right now, it's eye candy. But it's also plot wise, writing wise, definitely gets a little like, all right, let's finish this baby up. I also really didn't like the characters of the parents. We have like this sort of like kind of average mom and then this very kind of like weirdly aggressive but lazy, bitter dad. Like, and they're in the movie a lot. And sometimes with Kids Adventures movie, like you either want really generic parents that are like barely there at all, or more interesting parents that kind of influence the plot more. But in this we have kind of like really annoying character parents that happen to be on screen a lot. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I really didn't like the dad. At first I thought he was funny, and then I found him very annoying. You know what I think this movie is like kind of missing a little bit of, that I just wish was more there, I guess in the writing, is this movie has heart in terms of like, there is so much heart in like these monsters. Like you can tell there was so much love that went into making this movie, and that I'm totally obsessed with. So when I say heart right now, I'm really talking about the characters and the plot. I just wish there was a little bit more growth, especially of Mimi, who once again I thought was hilarious to watch. But she's our main character, and I just kind of wish she had more of an arc in terms of how she came to the end of the movie, because it's kind of like she's just like the worst, and then at the last second she's like, I'm not so bad. And I just wish she had more of a character arc. Luke has like a little bit more where he like kind of finds his strength at a certain point, you know. Psycho Goreman has a bit of an arc, but I just wish like when everything kind of wrapped up at the end, it really felt like more of a, like the end of a 90s kids adventure movie where there's just like this big like, yeah, we did it. Like, I don't know, like I kind of wanted that moment. But I think the making of this movie was definitely focused a lot more on the monsters and the design of the film and the vibe of the film than necessarily character stuff. But yeah, those are kind of my negatives. But overall, like this movie, once again, eye candy party. Like I really wish I could have watched this movie in a theater with a ton of people just being completely shocked the entire time by how bizarre it is. I really want that kind of communal experience of watching this movie. But this would also be a great movie to just like be drinking with a bunch of friends and turn this on. Like it's totally outrageous. And it just kind of gets crazier and crazier as it goes along, but it's so fun. Oh, also Steven Kostanski also directed Leprechaun Returns, by the way, which I reviewed. I think I reviewed that. Maybe I didn't. I can't really remember. But yeah, I definitely recommend you guys check out this movie. It is so fun. It's so outrageous. Like, nothing gets made like this. Like, I feel like I haven't seen a movie like this that didn't come out of like the 80s or early 90s. Like, it has this quality to it that is so much fun. So definitely go watch it. I'll link it down below for you. It's worth the money. It's worth renting it. I just want people to support this crazy film. And I truly have no doubt that it's gonna be like, it's like a modern day cult film. Like, I feel like it's gonna become a cult film before any time passes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But that's it. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Have a nice scream. Bye.